So, you've invested or are about to invest 4 years of your life into pharmacy, nursing, physiotherapy degree, but you've started to realize that might not be the stream for you and you'd like to go into the corporate world like Big Pharma. Well, let's have a look at which one of these degrees will give you the upper hand.
Now, last question just around resumes. This is actually coming from one of our guests. So I was a pharmacist, so very strong pharmacist community behind this channel, which I love. This one's come from Nish in Sydney. So her question is for pharmacy graduates, but we could easily substitute that for nursing, physio. For any of those healthcare professional graduates, should they be completing their intern year before applying for their job in industry? And how much weighting do you guys put on, say, for an entry-level role, whether they were a nurse, pharmacist, or physio?
I will answer in two ways. One is obviously if it is your interest to get into pharma, it's absolutely, we respect that decision. But my recommendation would be if you have enrolled for 3 years, 4 years, complete your degree, get registered, because it's a good backup plan for you.
Yes.
Because you don't know when you start the journey, how long would it take for you to secure a position. If you have a pharmacist license, that obviously pharmaceutical company or any company will value that, because that's why they're interested in. At the same time, you have a backup plan. While you're going through that journey, you can continue being a registered. And at the end of the day, you want to present yourself as a clinician. So if you're a pharmacist or a registered pharmacist, you have all these options to go to regulatory affairs or clinical development or commercial side. You have different choices. So that's what I would suggest. Now, in terms of internship, it does help because, when you go to a job interview, you have to offer something that other peers are not able to offer. Mm-hmm. Whether through internship, whether it's a job opportunity, whether you have done any project or even volunteer job, whatever you have done, and do something extra than just the academic qualifications.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, and I think even in our this or that, you picked experience over education because
yes.
The real world is quite different.
The reason is because you saw my background, and I've got 2 masters, I've got PhD. I did my MBA in finance. I ended up in HR. It's just because that's what I enjoy. It's being interactive and communication. You can have a great result. Earlier I gave that example of being learning about football and then not employing it. You can be in Dean's list, but then if you're not employing that ability, then no one is going to take it. We don't decide just because you have a good academic result. During the interview, you have to demonstrate what have you done with that. So that's the key.
Now, if you've learned something from today's episode, please share this with your friends and let them know every Friday there'll be new content to help them understand how to get into the pharmaceutical industry.
And can I just build on that point around academic results? And you alluded to earlier, if you're a registered pharmacist, it kind of opens many doors.
Yes.
Is that different if they came from a nursing, physio, occupational therapist background?
In general, it should not, depending on the type of position that you're aiming for. Say, for example, I've seen pharmacists, even in our organization, we have pharmacists working in the commercial side, sales and marketing, because they like that. They're being outgoing and they're driven by that numbers. Whereas also we have some other members who like some of the customer support in the MedInfo and the pharmacovigilance, regulatory affairs side. So depending on the individual interest, say for example in the education side, if you have the nursing background, it made more patient focus and patient care, right? Whereas it could be biased comment, but pharmacists, you're more customer focused, right? You're dealing with, you're communicating, you're upselling. So it's individual interest. We are very open as long as you have the clinical expertise and the knowledge, and then you know how to employ use that knowledge.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's the key.
Yeah. So it's sounding like there's no real one degree superior to the other, but the learning agility, being able to apply the science that you've learned.
So there could be certain preference in terms of the job requirement. Say if a job demands direct interaction with the patient, could be a nursing, could be preferred by any organization. We don't. The organization that I work for, we don't discriminate based on qualifications. We focus on the skills that you have and the demonstrated ability. That's what we focus on.
Well, that's the job application process done. But don't go just yet, because we're only halfway through the process. Now we need to get you interview ready. Click here if you've ever wondered how best to prepare for an interview, or what are the commonly asked questions for new entrants into pharma. Don't worry, we've got you covered. See you there.